It's been another day, so we have yet another extremely ill-conceived attack on Pierre Poilievre by a very desperate Liberal MP. That desperate Liberal MP is someone you probably all recognize at this point, Mr. Mark Gerretsen, the MP for Kingston and the Islands, a man very desperate to get himself a cabinet position before the Liberal government under Trudeau collapses. And so he's out there today making wild swipes at Pierre Poilievre, yet again trying to compare him to Donald Trump. I don't know why the Liberals think that this narrative is suddenly going to work. It has not worked over the past few months, but I guess if they keep repeating it, maybe people will believe it. But here's the clip clipped by the Counter Signal. Go follow Key and Bexy and the Counter Signal on Twitter. I like whenever people get these clips online fast, and I was definitely too lazy to go clip it from CPAC myself.
No, at the end of the day, Mr. Poilievre's approach is exactly like Donald Trump's approach from the United States. It's all about feeding in and feeding off of the emotions of people to try to get the better of them. Our job, one of our jobs, is going to be to point that out, and that's exactly what we're doing here today.
But isn't this what an election campaign is for? Like, pardon me, we're not in a campaign. That's typically when a leader will put out a platform. That's when they detail their policy.
I mean, you would have to ask yourself, isn't the way that Mr. Poilievre acts now and has always been acting, what an election
platform? He revealed his platform in 2013. He revealed it in the 2015 election campaign.
Pardon me?
Justin Trudeau became leader in 2013. Didn't reveal a platform then. He revealed it in the, election campaign.
But we were certainly talking about our values and what was important to us.
That's not quite true either.
And
so when a liberal does something like talks about the values that they believe in, creates kind of a vague vision for what they want the country to be more like, that's good. If a conservative like Pierre Poilievre does it, goes around, speaks about the small government vision he has for Canada, wanting to reduce taxes, get the government out of people's way, that's very bad. And it's very Donald Trump-like, because for some reason, Donald Trump is the only politician who feeds off of and into the emotions of voters. If anything, I think that describes the vast majority of politicians, because you would be a horrible politician if you do not speak to things that people are passionate about. When you say someone is emotional about something, or they have a strong emotion in regards to a policy issue, that means they are passionate about that policy issue. But Mark Gerretsen thinks that this is extremely MAGA-oriented, that Pierre Poilievre has the audacity to go to, different locations around the country and speak to the issues that really matter to people, and has not released a platform. Something a reporter rather befuddlingly said, because I think it seems like she got caught off guard with how silly Mark Gerretsen's point was. So she's like, and then I think another reporter jumped in. I think it was two different ladies, but then one of them was like, isn't that just how an election campaign works, that you release a platform during an election? And then the other chimed in and rightfully pointed out, well, Trudeau was the Liberal leader in 2013 and then hadn't actually put out a platform until 2015. This is just kind of how politics works. Unless you're Aaron O'Toole and foolish enough to be constantly putting out these 50-page reports no one's going to read on different policy issues, as if your only audience is trying to please Andrew Coyne. Most politicians, it's smart to just stay vague, see where people are at, and then develop a platform based on what kind of feedback you're getting from voters. Not like becoming leader and then day one releasing a platform based on only what you would want to see in government. You gotta talk to people a little bit here. But Mark Gerretsen thinks this is very radical and very bad. And I would maybe want to look this up right now just because it would be funny. But Mark Gerretsen, it's a generally more of a historically safe seat for the Liberals in Ontario, Kingston, and the Islands. But I have a strong feeling that there is a good chance that Mark Gerretsen could lose it. But 338's polling projections are not always completely accurate. There is a little bit of missability because it's just a projection itself. But Mark Gerretsen right now, the writing only says it's leaning Liberal at the moment. A couple polls have come out that show the Liberals doing a little bit better in Ontario than they previously were. But I do think that at some point, a lot of this bad rhetoric from Mark Gerretsen, this incredibly just childish kind of way he acts in Parliament, is going to come back and bite him. And I don't doubt that either his entire riding, not his entire riding, but his riding is going to shift more blue or more orange in response to the fact that they maybe want a guy who can control himself emotionally. The man is just constantly swiping at people. He's the type of person who just randomly like starts screeching in Parliament and then gets mad at other people when they say something slightly unparliamentary to him, even though that is his entire career, is attacking other people with unfair smears. But whatever, it's not going to work. And I guess that's a great place to leave off this video today. I have my Give, Send, Go legal fund linked in the description of this video below, or in the replies if I upload this video to Twitter. I'm being sued by a billionaire, winning that lawsuit, but it's just a typical stupid slap suit where someone's trying to drain you of funds because they don't actually have any evidence that you did anything wrong. So they're suing myself and the National Telegraph. And then I'm also running for the Calgary Signal Hill Conservative Party nomination. So if you live in Calgary Signal Hill, make sure you buy a Conservative Party membership, make sure your entire household has a membership, and vote for me in the nomination race. I also have my website for that linked in the description or the replies. So make sure to check it out if you live in the area. Based on the viewership I usually get on videos, like I've said in previous videos, guaranteed a bunch of you live in the riding. So check out which riding you live in.